Alert: satellite images show what North Korea has secretly been doing to surprise America in a few days. Just in case you've been avoiding all news for the past month, you'll need to know that President Trump has made a firm stance and decided that the childlike dictator Kim Jong-un of North Korea needs to get in line and quit threatening World War III. The gauntlet has been thrown and he is going to have to pay for it if he doesn't give up his nukes. There were, of course, mixed reactions to the president's tough stance at first, because, of course, if the president does it, then it must be bad. Now, however, it's becoming more evident by the day that the president's ultimatum didn't come a single moment too soon. The North Koreans aren't even trying to cloak their testing or big plans to make some unknown city go boom anymore. They're pretty much flaunting it for the world to see, which makes for a very scary proposition if you're in any way anti-nuclear blast. Via Independent Journal Review. In recent weeks, the rumors and rhetoric swirling around North Korea and its nuclear capabilities have grown significantly. While the country has long been known for its overblown posturing and propaganda, new evidence suggests that, as Fox News notes, tensions on the Korean peninsula have boiled over. Despite clear U.S. warnings to put an end to its nuclear weapons program, satellites have shown increased activity at the country's nuclear sites, while North Korean Supreme Leader Kim Jong-un has said that his Intercontinental Ballistic Missile, ICBM, program has reached its final stage of preparation. The mounting tensions have not gone unnoticed by international leaders, including President Donald Trump. On Monday, Trump urged further action from the United Nations Security Council, saying the real threat of North Korea could no longer be ignored. As he told Council ambassadors during a White House gathering, the Council must be prepared to impose additional and stronger sanctions on North Korean nuclear and ballistic missile programs. This is a real threat to the world, whether we want to talk about it or not. North Korea is a big world problem and it's a problem that we have to finally solve. People put blindfolds on for decades and now it's time to solve the problem. Over the course of Sunday and Monday, Trump also spoke directly with several international leaders regarding North Korea, including German Chancellor Angela Merkel, Chinese President Xi Jinping and Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe. Despite the presence of a U.S. carrier group, conducting drills with Japanese destroyers in the Western Pacific, lying just beyond its front door, North Korea has remained openly defiant. In addition to detaining another American citizen on Saturday, bringing the total to 3, North Korean state-run newspaper Rodong Sinmun wrote on Monday. The United States should not run amok and should consider carefully any catastrophic consequence from its foolish military provocative act. Issuing warnings of an all-out war, a nuclear war with U.S. imperialists, the paper added that the only thing that the country's aggressors should expect is dead bodies. If you had any idea that there was even the slightest bit of humanity in the guy with his finger on the trigger in North Korea, surely hearing about a populace under his rule that is literally starving to death, while every dollar available is going toward his missile program should blow that away. I don't know if it's an incredible bravery or an incredible stupidity that allows him to carry on with the United States Navy sitting at his front door, but we will all find out very soon. Thus far, we don't know of the North Koreans having the long-range capability needed to launch a nuke that would reach us, but they are working on it, full speed, all the time, day and night, all to ensure that they have the ability to bully us into what they want. And what do you think they're going to want? To my knowledge, there hasn't been a dictator with Jong-un's disposition that hasn't tried his hand at world domination. And if he let his own people starve so that he could work on things to blow people up, what do you think he'd do to us if he gets the chance? There's a reason North Korea isn't part of the free world. Because they're not free, and if these new tests have shown us anything, it's that Jong-un will stop at nothing to flex his nuclear muscle, and he is going to have to be forcibly stopped. Furious Trump just caught Iranian spy at the White House. Here's what he immediately did to her. President Trump certainly has had his work cut out for him. Every which way he turns, the left is doing their best to undermine his presidency. At first, it was the Russian collusion story, fake news, and of course, the Obama holdovers in the White House. These holdovers are working hard behind the scenes to thwart Trump's presidency from being a success. This is what is referred to as the deep state, and it is not a conspiracy. Now, another treasonous scum has been revealed, and the Democrats are scrambling to explain this one. A Muslim spy was caught still working in the Trump administration, and she has a very interesting background. It appears that this particular Muslim spy is the one who brokered Obama's Iranian nuclear deal. The woman's name is Sahar Nowruzadeh, and she is an operative for the Iranian government. Nowruzadeh has gone unnoticed for some time, but not for long when conservatives took notice. You see, alarm bells began to sound after Hillary Clinton lost the election in November. Instead of this treasonous scum resigning her position in the White House, she decided to stay on. According to Conservative Review, Sahar Nowruzadeh, the Iran director for former President Obama's National Security Council, NSC, has burrowed into the government under President Trump. She's now in charge of Iran and the Persian Gulf region on the policy planning staff at the State Department. To make matters worse, Nowruzadeh is a former employee of the National Iranian American Council, NIAC, a nonprofit that is accused of being a lobbying group for the Iranian regime. NIAC's current president, Trita Parsi, has long held close relationships with top officials in the Tehran dictatorship. In February, a group of over 100 prominent Iranian dissidents called for Congress to investigate NIAC's ties to the Iranian regime. One of Nowruzadeh's primary duties under President Obama was to promote initiatives that pushed the Iran deal. As President Obama's NSC director for Iran, Nowruzadeh sat in on high-level briefings along with President Obama, former VP Joe Biden, and former Secretary of State John Kerry, as top White House staff crafted false narratives on the Iran deal to sell to the American public. According to the head of a state-run Iranian newspaper, Nowruzadeh was an essential element to pushing through the Iran deal. Editor-in-Chief Ahmed Abshnaz said that she opened up a direct line of communication with the Iranian president's brother. She helped clear a number of contradictions and allowed the entire endeavor to succeed, Abshnaz said of her efforts. Nowruzadeh's advocacy for President Obama's directives resulted in an agreement that has done enormous damage to the security interests of the United States and its allies. Iran, the world's top sponsor of international terrorism, was gifted $150 billion for agreeing to the deal. The deal will not restrict Iran from acquiring nuclear weapons. In fact, the regime in Tehran may now have the operational capacity to deploy nuclear warheads within the next decade, according to expert estimates. Towards the end of President Obama's tenure, Nowruzadeh was embedded into the State Department and for a brief time served as its Persian language spokesperson. In addition to Nowruzadeh, several other prominent Obama officials currently serve under Secretary at the State Department. A former John Kerry apprentice, Michael Ratney, occupies the Israeli-Palestinian portfolio there. Another trusted Obama aide, Yael Limpert, also serves under Tillerson on the same platform. Why President Trump did not immediately fire this woman is anyone's guess, but that is not all of it. Another Obama holdover named Yael Limpert is also still serving in the Trump administration under Tillerson. Seriously? Why aren't these people being fired and filled with people who are not traitors? These people are absolute traitors to America and need to be held accountable for their actions. Sahar Nowruzadeh worked hard with Obama to make sure that Iran would have nuclear weapons, and no one noticed her name still on the payroll. What is going on in the White House, guys? That would have been the first person voted off the island for me. But, Nowruzadeh still had a job, and who knows what information she fed to our enemies. I am glad that President Trump was able to find this scum and fire her, but how many others are still there? What do you think about this? Do you think President Trump should fire everyone and just start over? Let us know in the comments below. Breaking: 9 states on high alert after what was just spotted driving down major freeway. 9 states have been issued an urgent warning after what was spotted on a major roadway near the US-Mexico border, that took too long to get reported to residents who are at risk. Concerned passers-by called about the alarming sight spotted on Sunday, that has since disappeared, which gives authorities reason for heightened concern considering what it could potentially means. Over the last 8 years, our borders have gone unchecked and we are now facing what could be a catastrophic mistake Barack Obama made that may be too late for President Trump to fix. It is widely known that the Mexican cartels have aided Middle Easterners in sneaking across America's southern border, something that Trump is aware of and trying to tackle as one of his biggest campaign promises and priorities. Now, we are seeing the terrifying reality of what our current president warned about. It's worse than we all thought, as even the Trump administration is on high alert. On Sunday, a truck was traveling along the Mexican side of the border carrying radioactive materials before it was hijacked and stolen. The work rig was clearly marked as hauling dangerous materials, which happened to be commercial-grade X-ray machines, specifically containing iridium-192. The container filled with this radioactive material is extremely dangerous to humans and could easily be used to create a dirty bomb, leading authorities to believe the theft was intentional. Perhaps, the truck had even been followed and tracked until the perfect opportunity to hijack it presented itself. The Interior Department said in a statement the truck was stolen Sunday in Tlaquepaque, a town in Jalisco State, Fox News reported, adding that this isn't the first theft like this along our border. This is at least the 7th case of radioactive material being stolen across Mexico since 2013, according to AFP. In all instances, the materials were recovered safely. However, that has yet to be the case in this especially concerning truck hijacking. While Mexican authorities are on the job trying to locate the truck and radioactive materials, that doesn't relieve us of the fears that the wrong people are moving that container into the U.S. in the same manner that they move narcotics in. 9 Mexican states have been put on alert for this reason, which includes states of Jalisco, Colima, Nayarit, Aguascalientes, Guanajuato, Michoacán, San Luis Potosí, Durango, and Zacatecas, National Emergency Services Director Luis Felipe Puente said on Twitter. Making matters worse, is that nobody knows the identity of those who stole it. The thieves could very well be Mexicans willing to sell it to anyone with bad intentions for a high price, like terrorists exploiting our borders, or terrorists themselves hijacked it. This incident plays directly into Trump's belief that we need a wall to defend our southern border. As we sit here in hopes that the crack squad of savvy personnel running the Mexican police can find and apprehend the people who now have the makings of a very serious bomb, our hopes are fading. The wall may have been the very thing that deterred this entire incident from happening, and it can't be built fast enough. Meanwhile, we can expect more incidents like this as terrorists and illegals quickly take advantage of what time they have left before construction starts.